Aries, welcome to your December 2018 love reading. It's Raina, and I was going to say it's Raina here, but then people think I'm saying it's raining here, so I'm trying to change how I call myself. But anyway, I'm going to be doing my typical Morgan Greer card spread, and I have a new deck called Whispers of Love that I'm going to be picking a card from at the end. So whoa. 3 earth sign cards. Oh my goodness, this is pretty crazy to get cards. Oh no, I'm picking these from behind the camera because I've got like a bunch of decks out here, so it's hard to like put them into piles. But you know, it's funny because the last card I picked was a Hierophant, and that's connected to Taurus. So maybe this is a Taurus person, I don't know. But whoa, this is supposed to be a love reading. I'm getting all this Pentacles, which can be money and earth energy, like maybe sex. That it's anything from the body. The overall theme is the 5 of Pentacles. This is a card that's associated with kind of fear-based thinking and lack consciousness. And even with love relationships, I think about when the person settles for less because they think, well, if this person is interested in me, but I'm not interested in them, what if nobody ever wants to be with me again? Then what am I going to do? The other possibility is if somebody feels like they don't have enough financial security, that they tend to be, I was going to say be attracted and put that in quotes, but it could be that tending to choose partners based on money, and or even, you know, who knows, maybe you have the money, because Aries is a very generous sign, so it could even be on that level. But there's like so much coins, you know, in this reading. It's like, what's going on here? Is it's like an overemphasis on the physical, on materialistic concerns? Is this an earth sign? The other earth signs besides Taurus are Capricorn, and that's one that you tend to go with, I think, more than Taurus, and Virgo. Let me just talk about the heart of the matter that may be affecting this mentality. The 6 of Pentacles is a card of giving and receiving. And yeah, that's kind of like, and there's a balance, you know, the person here is holding scales. So it's like, is there this sense of balance between the person, the two people in the relationship? Is one person giving more than the other? And more doesn't mean looking at it from an equal perspective financially. We're talking about energy. That's why money is currency. So we're not talking about you know, balancing the books in terms of each person contributing X amount of money. The other person may contribute a lot to the relationship in terms of they're the ones that are always eager to find a new place to go to a restaurant or find new movies to go to, and they really want to have fun as a couple, and the other person just happens to have more money. But if you have, when we're talking about using somebody for money, it's one person giving their resources, hoping to get love from that other person. Now, are they getting love from that person? Of course not. When somebody is using them, they will act nicely or act nice when they want to get more money, and then they'll do a disappearing act. There won't be this love that's continuous. It's all about you know, it's conditional. So are you in that type of relationship for some reason? And do you really know that you are, but you feel like that's the best you can do and you may never get anything else? That could be what is going on. Now let's just keep going because I might change a little bit of this. This is the card that crosses you, the Eight of Pentacles. This may not be you unless you're using somebody for money, but this is about somebody who's like maybe is a lazy person, is a bad worker, doesn't want to do things in a professional manner. So it could be that you're enabling somebody to continue along this path, and maybe they're trying to manipulate you and make you feel sorry for them, that they can't get a job because the world is against them and all this garbage, but really it's because they don't want to do a good job. So, I mean, I think that's very interesting that I got that as the challenge card, because that's pretty specific, and that's about, in the upright position, the Eight of Pentacles is about doing a good job. It's also about financial success. So there could be a relationship that some of you are in that is imbalanced in this way, where one person holds the purse strings and the other person is having problems. Maybe it's possible that you're the one having financial problems, and maybe you lost your job. The Five of Pentacles could be that. And I don't know with the Eight of Pentacles. I don't think that a lot of Aries people, though, are lazy. I think a lot of Aries people are, can-do types of people. So I have to believe that this is somebody that you're associated with. Now, I realize up to this point that this may be very specialized for just a fraction of you. So I apologize. Please understand that when I get a reading, when I get cards like this that are so predominantly in one area, it's very hard to go off into different directions. It's almost like I have to stay with one storyline. So, it is what it is. Hopefully you can identify with some of it, but if you can't, you can't, What can I say? The higher message, and this is, I don't get reversed cards very much, but I get this Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles is a card of, building on a foundation. It's also a card of teamwork, people working together. And this is in the I was going to say upright, but the reversed position shows that there's something that is not right going on. This particular part of the reading, or the card that represents this part of the reading, is more of an internalized thing that has to change. It's not something in the outer world, and maybe it's an attitude that has to be adjusted. And it may be on your end, come to think of it, because Aries is a cardinal fire sign. Fire signs are very independent as it is. Cardinal signs are take charge kinds of people. So if you combine the two, Aries often gets the reputation of being very kind of, in some cases, domineering. Of course, this is going to be the more imbalanced types of people. But in general, you do like to kind of have things your way. And it could be that some of you are using money to control a relationship, and that is creating something that you realize is not a healthy situation. And yet it may be hard for you to cooperate with others, and it's easier to kind of find somebody who's rather weak that you can control through money, because they're dependent on you. With the Three of Pentacles in reverse, I think it's warning against this type of relationship, because the foundation is faulty, and therefore it will not last, first and foremost, but it's very unstable. The instability of it is going to lead to a lot of problems. So it's not worth it, in other words. You may not see it now. It may seem like everything is under control, but it may not be at all. The practical advice is represented by the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of somebody with sound money management, as well as someone who, you know, has control over their finances and is financially not only stable, but financially secure. And that is, I think that's also a warning that you don't want to bring anybody into your life who could threaten that. And even if you think that you have control over it, it could lead to problems down the line. The other thing about this card is it can sometimes be showing somebody who's too materialistic. And you see that even in this particular deck, they show the person holding on to, it's almost like somebody who's hoarding money. Now, I don't necessarily think that that would be an Aries personality trait, but the materialism part could certainly be. You know, that could be any person. And especially if you have personal planets in Taurus, right? But the thing that happens is that if you're around somebody or you meet somebody and all they talk about are their possessions, they're talking about money, that gives you a bit of a red flag as to where their consciousness is. You know, you can talk about money or you can talk about ideas. And of course, I'm not saying that you never talk about money, but if the person is just always, it's all that they seem to be talking about, then that's where their consciousness is. And you can't expect them to be other than they are. But that's the kind of person that you may be attracting to you, and it's not fulfilling to you. So it starts with you. It's not just happening randomly. You're meeting people. They say water seeks its own level. You're meeting people based on your own consciousness. So you have to put the responsibility back where it belongs. What's coming in is a really great card for new energy coming in suddenly. And in December, we do have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 7th. It's in fire, and this is a fire card. So 8 of Wands can be, all of a sudden, things are starting to happen. Maybe it's somebody who is a fire sign, which would be a great combination. If you've been with someone who is an earth sign or has strong earth, you might feel like there is a lot of incompatibility, that the two of you really don't see eye to eye, and it can be quite frustrating because you want that sort of connection, but it's always like missing the mark. The 8 of Wands can be, you know, sudden developments happening, and you are kind of like swept away by this these exciting things. I mean, you might meet somebody and you hit it off right off the bat. And certainly if it was a fire sign, that would be the case. Now, the outcome is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, it does speak about marriage, so maybe this person will someday be somebody that you end up spending the rest of your life with. But it could be that it's also talking about something higher than the material. So here we have all these cards with pentacles. I mean, my goodness. I don't get this very often. I think I am more likely to get a lot of major arcana cards than I am to get a lot of one suit. So we have 5. We have 5 pentacles out of 7, and then the one major arcana card is associated with Taurus. So a lot of that earth energy. But the Hierophant is also about God. and spirit, you know, representing the spiritual part of life. So maybe you are meeting somebody that can help you on that level. And I mean, by help, I mean who is a good influence in that way. Maybe it is a Sagittarius. I always think that the Hierophant should be Sagittarius because that's part of what Sagittarius represents. So it's kind of weird. It's a weird thing that it's associated with Taurus. But yeah, so that might be what's happening for you. That you meet somebody that they're able to influence you in a positive way. And make you see like the bigger picture of life, the more philosophical picture, rather than just the mundane type of daily events and things like that, and the concerns of the world. So that would be good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick an additional card from my Whispers of Love deck. This is, I like showing the back because the art is also beautiful. Okay, and this says, back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. That's cool. And there's the sun, and it's like it looks like a cave or some sort of portal. And, you know, sometimes this happens in relationships where you break off with somebody and, you know, all of a sudden you're free to do things that you kind of put on a shelf. So, you know, another thing about that Five of Pentacles is that somebody may be having a bad influence on you, and they're making, you know, their negativity might become your negativity. So you have to watch for the kind of people that you are associating with, because you are naturally very positive. And so when I see the Five of Pentacles as the kind of centerpiece card, I wonder, like, is somebody trying to drag you down with them? And that wouldn't be cool, because you're like usually an inspiration to other people. Okay, Aries, that's what I have for you. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below this video. Have a great December. Bye.